What's up, ladies and gentlemen, boys and squirrels? Slink here. Today I'm just gonna be doing an unboxing and initial impressions of 3 new pairs of OMBRAZ sunglasses that I ordered. I'm kind of like the unofficial, official product tester. I've owned OMBRAZ for about 3 years and they got some new pairs, so just check them out. So the ones I've ordered have always come in a brown case, like these Viales here. These come in a black case. Never seen that before. Top opening as opposed to side opening like the other pairs. But these right here are the matte black frame or charcoal Dolomites with the amber or brown polarized lenses. The cord here is also black, which I've had this exact pair before these, but unfortunately I destroyed these for a product review video called the Ultimate OMBRAZ Review, which I highly encourage you to go check out. But these ended up being melted into nothingness, but that pair had a brown cord, but I see now it looks like they're pairing the black cord with the black frame. But these are the best sunglasses I've ever had. I really like this bar at the top here as opposed to the Viales, which don't have that, because it adds a little bit more stability to the movements I do. I do a lot of sports and athletic things, so when I'm running around, this little bar at the top, I feel like gives a lot more support. They're a little bit heavier than the Viales, but I like that. They don't feel like they're gonna like kind of bounce around as much. They sit well on the frame. And just like the Viales and the old Dolomites and these Dolomites, the amber polarized lenses, the brown lenses, are my absolute favorite. They give the broadest range of contrast for me. And I don't know, I don't like everything being kind of one tint. I like the amber feel. Makes me feel very relaxed, but still in the zone, kind of calmed. A straight gray tint kind of makes me feel a little tired. But I tried on my friend's polarized lenses the other day. He had just Gooter, you know, those like $25 sunglasses. And I was wearing my Viales, but I put his on, and I was like, oh, there's no comparison. His had kind of like streaks of sunlight and everything. I mean, these lenses are the best you can get, made by Zeiss Optics, a company in Germany. So I really like that case. It's got a Velcro closure there. It kind of opens up. They still have the microfiber cloth on the inside that you fold up, put in. But yeah, I'm very excited to wear these again. One thing I will say about the charcoal and black frames is that they heat up a little bit more in the sun than like the brown frames. But I really like the Mad Max kind of apocalyptic Neo survivor look they give. So definitely happy to acquire those. Alright, the next pair we got in here. Same box. Yeah, this is what I was talking about. This is the classic case here as opposed to this one, and it's pulling from the top. But these also charcoal framed. I got the Tetons, which I've never owned before, and these lenses are kind of like almost look like olive oil or yellowish, but I didn't get the yellow lenses. I got the blue blocker lenses. I've been thinking about getting a pair of blue blocking lenses because I do so much photo editing, video editing, music production, and when I'm looking at a screen in kind of a dark room for too long or a coffee shop, my eyes will get a little tired. But I've never worn these ones before, and wow, this is a really interesting tint. There's no flares, everything is kind of a nice even tone. It doesn't look like too yellow or too green, just kind of like a nice high visibility filter on everything. Almost kind of reminds me of like these driving glasses my grandma used to have. But these are very nice, subtle. I think you can kind of see my eyes. I don't know how the frames look on me, but they have like a little bit more wobble than the Dolomite. So these aren't something I would wear working out or lifting weights, but they're actually pretty comfortable. I got the Tetons for blue blocking because they have a pretty wide field of vision. I wanted some big lenses on my face, but yeah, these are nice. Let's rack these down with the other ones. And then the last pair I got is OMBRAZ newest creation, newest addition to their collection. This case is a little bit bigger because the glasses themselves are a little bit bigger. These are, I believe you pronounce it Refugio, but I went with the tortoise frame because I saw someone, I ran into them in public and they were wearing OMBRAZ and they had the tortoise frame and it looked really nice in the sunlight. And normally I wouldn't go for a tortoise frame because it's just a statement on your face. Normally I want something a little more subtle. But if you're going big with a sports style sunglasses, you don't really need subtlety. It kind of leads you. Alright, these are actually a lot lighter than I anticipated. Normally I'm not big on sports style sunglasses because they feel heavy on the face, but with the strap around the back it's very evenly weighted. And one thing I like about these is your nose doesn't sit directly on the plastic. They actually have a complete rubber piece that holds your nose off of the frames a little bit, and that's very secure. I can feel kind of the stickiness or the tactfulness of it on my nose here. But I went with the gray lens because I didn't want the brown lens on the brown frame. I want there to be a little juxtaposition there with the coloring. But it is my understanding that the Refugios are not polarized because they're designed to be used in very high-paced environments, such as people skiing or mountain biking, and when you're going through things like underbrush or an environment that can create a lot of shadows, you don't want there to be like little shadow mirages, because polarized lenses, they can create little shadow mirages because they block light bouncing off of horizontal surfaces. But these are supposed to give even clarity, still 100% UV blocking. But there's a lot more space between my face and the actual lenses compared to these, which hopefully will lend to breathability, which is something I've had a bit of a problem with in the past, training in the heat and humidity of Houston. But yeah, I don't really know what these look like on me, but I can't wait to go inside and look. But they're a little heavier, so they have a little more jostle to them. But maybe that's something I can get used to as they break in. But yeah, these are my initial impressions. If you want more information on my experience with OMBRAZ, I encourage you to go check out the Ultimate OMBRAZ review, also on my channel. I'll link it somewhere. But thank you for watching, and I'll see you all later.